The 2023 National Championship Air Races and Air Show, the final flag at Reno, Nevada. 6 decades. Tommy Sanders here with Rob Lowe. And Rob, it's hard to imagine the thrills we have seen through the years for so many decades here. And to think it's coming to an end makes everyone sad, but we've got a great one left here before we get done.
Absolutely. We are having a fantastic week already, Tommy. It's Thursday. We're kind of midway into the racing. But 59 years we've been racing here at Reno, and it's been a fantastic run, and there's more to come.
Absolutely. Of course, everyone's coming from all over the world to see this last go-around, the last dance in Reno. 6 discrete classes racing here. As always, it's just a tremendous feel for everyone to be here. Of course, we started out our day with the one that started it all. Let's talk about F1. Formula One racing is how we started it out this morning, and it's just really got us going. There's an F1 racer right there.
Absolutely. These are the descendants of the original air races here in our country, dating back to the 1930s, Tommy. It's the only continuous racing class that we have. It's the oldest racing class, first known as midget racing, all the way back to 1936. Post-World War II, it got a lot of boost. Most famous of that, probably Cleveland in 1947. But for 68 years, we've had the same rules, if you will. It really is a truly technical formula race that's there. So here we're looking at this first start of Heat 2A this morning, Tommy, as we departed. Josh Watson and Freidnot on the outside there in position 3 really jumped out quick. You could see him there with the kind of swept wing look on the white aircraft that's in second place. He was following the green and yellow, no strings attached, of Justin Phillips in race 79. And then those two battled it out for a while, but eventually Freidnot passed him.
Absolutely, yeah. Freidnot, a lot of history here. Freidnot, a champion, not piloted by Josh Watson, but Lowell Slater has been very successful here at the Reno Air Races. We saw a good race here. Of course, this one was 8 laps on the short course here. This 3-mile course, and it was full of excitement.
Yeah, and you just saw the pass right there where Josh Watson got around Justin Phillips. And here you see a great look at that DG2 racer, and he carried it out all the way to the checkered flag you see right there. And that brought us to our final results here, Tom.
Yeah, race 79, Freidnot, Josh Watson at the helm there. Justin Phillips in 79 in second place, no strings attached. Timothy Combe, race 99. What airplane, honey? Matt Moore in 14. In fourth place, Eric Dienst. Fifth place, race 85. Drew Keenan, race 81. Sleeper in sixth place, Austin Shaw and Cheap Thrills 82. And eighth place, Trent Woodworth and Feisty. That was Formula One to start it out on day number 2. The first full day of racing here at Reno. Next up was the much beloved T6 class. So much history, so much tradition here.
Yeah, Tommy, this is the pilot makers, what this airplane is known as, historic World War II trainer. We saw several variations of it, all basically the same airplane. The Navy Marine version known as the SNJ, the Canadian-built version known as the Harvard, and the Army Air Corps Air Force version, the AT-6 Texan. And here's the race as we got started. The sound of these aircraft is incredible, and here's the start. It's an airborne start. As they reach the pylon there, they have to stay in their lanes until they get to this first turn. But as we made that first turn, it was our pole position, Chris Rushing, that stayed out in front.
Absolutely, defending champion, keeping his momentum going from 2022, but not without some pressure applied from the back from the likes of Vic McMahon, gunslinger, AT-6 there. Nick Macy, a 5-time champion in 6-cat, and also John Lomar put the pressure on, but eventually they fell back, and it was all about Chris Rushing in the top spot.
It was, and then you see on the screen here, you see where some of the highlight was all day with John Lomar with the yellow stripes on the wing. Then there is race 14, back to our leader, Chris Rushing, as he takes the win and pulls up off the course. But look here, Lomar almost made a run of it here at the end when he made a run on Vic McMahon in the black and white aircraft. And then coming behind him was the all-black 6-cat. And that brings up these results for today, Tommy.
Couldn't quite get there. Could John Lomar, but Vic McMahon winds up in second place in race 66. Of course, the defending champion, Chris Rushing, he's won here before, in first place. John Lomar in third place with Radial Velocity. Nick Macy and 6-cat, 7-time winner here, Vitaly Pechersky in fifth place. Joel Stinnett, race 43, Midnight Miss 3. So that was T6 on this day of racing at Reno. Let's take a look at the sport class. This is the future of aviation, civil aviation, in many, many ways, Rob.
Yeah, Tommy, this is a 350 to 400 mile an hour research and development department is what this class is. These aircraft are kit or home-built airplanes, mostly dominated by some of the aircraft you see here on the screen, the Glass Airs, the Lance Air Legacies, those type of aircraft. Now, they are limited to 1,000 cubic inch or less. It has to be an internal combustion engine, but then at that point, innovation is encouraged. They have all kinds of exotic fuels, and here we jump into the 1A, the gold pairing we had earlier today.
Yeah, 6 laps around, 40 miles, 41 miles in total, and a great rivalry rekindled here. Jeff Lavelle, a 7-time winner here in the sport class, going up against Andrew Findlay. He himself has won here twice in recent years. Just good racing from the start.
Yeah, and that's what you see on the screen here in front of us. There's Jeff Lavelle in the white aircraft, and right behind him in the orange and white, one moment, Lance Air Legacy Race 30, Andrew Findlay. And here you can see him on the screen as they're in the far north end of the course here. Andrew, at midpoint in the race, was able to gain a little bit of speed. He snuck up on Jeff Lavelle, but then in the end, Jeff Lavelle was able to stay out front, pull away, and maintain the flag to flag from the pole to the flag on the win.
Well, it was expected that these two would always push it to the limits, and they pretty much always do. Were they holding anything back? We will find out as this week tends to unwind.
Yeah, and there you see them both just taking the checkered flag there and pulling up off the race course. But Tommy, that ended up with his gold pairing, the final results here.
Yeah, Jeff Lavelle takes it there, race 39. 7-time winner Jeff Lavelle, Andrew Findlay in second place there in one moment. Sean Van Hatten and Mojo in third place. Tom McNerney, too much, race number 4. Matthias Hyde, race 51, last year's champion in Class Thunder 1. Matt Ramsey, 777 Guardian Angel. Vicky Benzing in Lucky Girl in 7th place. And Peter Balmer, 67, race 67 for 8.
So, Tommy, that took us to the fastest racers on the course.
You know, it's the world's fastest motorsport, and these guys are the fastest of the fast. The jet class, our second newest class, but it's been around a while now. It's firmly established.
Yeah, this was an exhibition class way back in 2000, but here they fly the 8-mile larger course. They do it for 6 laps and speeds up near and sometimes exceeding 500 miles an hour. It was quite a race we had today, and these aircraft, no swept wings, no afterburners, but they are limited to 525 total miles an hour. And here you see our race right at the start. They come down the chute in the lanes. They have to stay in the lane. You can see on the far left the red and white aircraft of David Sterling, race 8, and that was our pole position aircraft, and he never gave it up, Tommy.
Absolutely did not. This was the silver class, and David finished second in the silver class last year in 2022, and he keeps his momentum as well, as you say, Rob. He kept that pole position and never relented once. We saw some good racing right behind him, though, between Scott Gusikoff and Matt Guthrie.
Yeah, that was the race within the race in this class, Tommy, and here you see it on the screen. Race for second place, if you will. There's our leader again in the beautiful red and white L39. David Sterling out of San Diego, California, like we said earlier. He had the pole, and then he just kind of got set up on rails and just finished it from start to finish.
Great job. Also, hats off to Gusikoff and Guthmiller. Really, really good racing, and their first time ever for a Fuga in their French-made airplane, the Texas Fuga, managed to stay out of the cellar. Tammy Camilleri right above him in Miss Independence. I think
he actually passed him. Al Hoover actually finished 5th, as we saw there at the end.
Late update to the leaderboard right there. Thank you very much, David Sterling. In race number 8 in first place, Scott Gusikoff in second, Guthmiller in third, Bob McCormick in fourth. The Spirit of Freedom, race 55. Of course, what everyone comes here to the desert to see. For 6 decades now, the unlimited class, they absolutely take your breath away.
Yeah, this is the bad boys of speed. This is what the Valley of Speed is named after. These are the Unlimiteds, the iconic Reno racers in our 59 years. And here's the start. Again, they come down the chute, they drop in their lane, and our pole position was a Russian World War II fighter, the green and brown with the yellow spinner right there, and he was in first. That's Miss Trinidad with John Maloney, and there you can see a great look at the bottom side of that Russian World War II fighter. He on the pole was able to stay there and stay out in front the entire race, but right behind him was this beautiful and iconic purple Plum Crazy, flown by Vicky Benzing, who we also saw in the sport class earlier in the day. Very historic return to Reno for that aircraft, but our leader was right here. And we did have some good racing in the back. Here's where Stephen Couches passes Speedball Alice, Dan Vance, and that was at the very back of the pack for 4th and 5th. But here's our leader, Tommy, coming home.
Yeah, the Yak 3 really did bring home the bacon this time around. You got Russian Fighter takes it with ease. Seemingly just no step for a stepper. John Maloney, race number 27.
What a day, Tommy. Man, we had such an exciting day, and here's the final results unofficially for our
there you
limited
go.
heat.
Race 27, Miss Trinidad, the Yak 3, Vicky Benzig, holding on for second place there in historic Plum Crazy, Brant Seghetti and Sparky, Dan Vance and Speedball, Alice, Stephen Couches, race number 43, and titled race number 43. So that was unlimited. So that was the way it went down on the day 2, the first day of full racing here at the 2023 National Champion Air Races in Reno, Nevada.